How do you build a successful WPSL team?
Yeah, so first I would start with the development of women in soccer, both athletes, coaches, and girls is a huge part of my why. So I have devoted significant part of my career working with girls and women, both kind of like in the elite youth spaces and in the higher spaces, and working with a lot of professional women privately in small group training. So that's a big part of my why and one of the reasons that I was eventually in those roles. Building a successful women's team in that context, which is, amateur still, but really high level, requires a 12-month process, requires that you are scouting, you are recruiting for pretty much the full calendar year, that you have connections throughout the country and internationally where people trust the program. The beauty, I think, with the staff now, with the appointment of Juan as the head coach and Moran as the associate head coach, is I have full trust that we are about to change the game in what has been happening with the women.
In recruiting, how do you go about? Is it just a bunch of college coaches? Do you just point at the past and be like, this is what we did in the past? Like,
yeah, there's kind of like you have a lot of tentacles out and do it in a lot of different ways. Definitely, the college coaches is one of the routes, and just when you work in the game, as long as our staff has, you yourself also have deep connections with players all around the country or internationally. So college game for sure, one of our biggest places that we recruit. We also have several top academy girls players that will be a part of the team, whether they're fully rostered or whether they're training. And then the scouting process, not too different to what I talked about with the MLS Next Pro. A lot of video watching, a lot of reaching out and vetting the players. And one of the beauties and happened in Colorado is once you establish yourself as one of the top programs in the country and have that amount of success on the field, the recruiting and the scouting gets easier and easier. And it actually gets to the point, and we reached this in Colorado, we didn't have need for tryouts. We really didn't have any need for what you would consider normal scouting. It was all coming.
Everyone's calling you.
It was coming this way. And I do think that here you give us like a year or two, and I think a very similar thing will happen here, which is the recruitment really is going to start to happen this way. Players, coaches want their athletes to come play with us.
I absolutely love that.